had only been down there a couple weeks, and I had high school Spanish and 2 years of college Spanish, which you think you know more than you really do, and then when you get down there, you realize you don't know as much as you really think you did. And you had kind of basic level English, but
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So I think that was a big challenge in the beginning, was just kind of the language barrier.
Yep. One would be the language barrier.
Right.
Something, maybe I'm meaning something, but she interpreted different, so it comes up wrong.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That will be one barrier. Until then you talk about it, and then you realize, oh, he or she was meaning this, so it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
The biggest barrier is for language is when you're on the phone.
The phone?
Yeah, on the phone.
Really?
Telephone.
I could see that. Really?
Because you don't see expressions, you don't know, you cannot point things, you don't know exactly what's going on, especially,
Missing all the nonverbals.
Nonverbals, yep.
Yeah, body language, you're missing all that.
That's a huge part of communication.
So it's like, that's the barrier language, the most difficult.
Grandma went and bought all the Thanksgiving groceries. So she had, a big bag of potatoes and bags of lettuce and all these vegetables and eggs and everything. And she asked him to bring them downstairs and put them in the refrigerator. And so...
No, in the freezer.
No, she said put them down in the refrigerator. But to him, refrigerator and freezer are the same thing because they don't put a lot of things in a freezer. And again, his English wasn't that great. So he put all the Thanksgiving groceries in the deep freeze, including like the lettuce and the eggs and all the vegetables and everything like that. Because, but awesome. To him, that's not something that they have or do, and so there's just differences there. Or lost in translation, we could call it whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just differences in how we do things.
Right.
So.
That's awesome. That's a really good.
Sebi's comprehension, he just entered immersion kindergarten. And so he can comprehend, could follow all the instructions. He just doesn't speak it as well. But it was really cute. His middle brother, Arturo, doesn't speak any English. And Sebi doesn't speak a lot of Spanish. But for some reason, Sebi really bonded with Arturo.
Yes.
He was stuck to him like glue the entire week.
Unbelievable.
They can't really speak to each other, but they do. And it worked out fine. So Arturo would talk to him in Spanish. Sebi would answer in English. And somehow they understood one another and did just fine. So it's kind of cute things like that to watch, like how people can communicate without even having the full language to be able to experience one another, but they were able to get their ideas across just fine.
That's
so
awesome.
Even though I went to Catholic college and Catholic medical school, I wasn't raised Catholic. I was raised Presbyterian. Angel's family is extremely Catholic. And that wasn't so much an issue for him personally, but it was an issue for his family, particularly his mom, who's extremely Catholic. And so in Mexico, where there isn't a lot of other religions, it's so predominantly Catholic. Here, being Protestant isn't considered to be a weird thing. But in Mexico, if you're not Catholic, you might as well be Buddhist or something else that's considered more, much more different. So there was even issues as far as his mother not sure if she wanted to attend our wedding or if it would be sacrilegious for her to even enter a Presbyterian church. So now we didn't let it affect us personally.
Nope.
We were at the point where we knew we wanted to be together. I had offered to convert to Catholicism if it was important to him, but it wasn't that important to him. And I wasn't willing to convert just for his family, so that his mom would be happy.
You guys were doing
it had to be, ultimately it has to come down to what he and I are comfortable with. If I convert to Catholicism, which would be considered a sacrifice, in my opinion, for his mom,
right.
I don't necessarily think that'd be the right thing to do. And same thing, if he was uncomfortable raising our kids in the Presbyterian tradition, that'd make him uncomfortable. So it isn't to us, it had to ultimately come down to what was right between he and I, not what my family wanted or what his family wanted.
Right.
So, because if you're making a sacrifice for somebody else, then you might be resentful in the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to work.
How and to what extent do you handle disagreements?
How to what extent? Very good. If we disagree and we start arguing, I start arguing Spanish and she start arguing English, and it gets interesting.
That sounds awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. We always agree to solve it.
But I think we kind of try to look at each other. We don't actually
We never
argue that much.
we never end up the day mad to each other. We always solve it.
I mean, I try to look at it from his perspective, and either you come to a compromise, or sometimes it's okay just to agree to disagree. Just agree that, hey, we see it different ways, and that's okay. But I think you're right. I think one of the ways that helps us is we don't let it carry on and stay mad about it,
You just get it done.
because that leads to problems.
Okay.
There is no secrets.
I do.
You can
That
feel free to
helps.
make up whatever else you want for your paper.
Whatever else you need.
We could have just made stuff up.